Okay, so what are you saying, people? Welcome back to another stream. Excuse me. Hope everyone is well. I'll take some water there because I feel like my throat is going to be a bit croaky. But welcome back to another stream, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like on the stream. It does really help out, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Check out the Elevating Traders Discord channel, completely free to join at the top of the chat and also in the description below. Chat with other traders, including myself, join discussions, talk about different trading opportunities. And of course, you can learn a bit more about Elevate Trades, the firm there as well, with more information. And you can find your discount codes there as well. So if you are interested, make sure you go check it out. Links to that will be in the description. As always, I'll go through the USD markets to start things off. Chat about the DXY and all the dollar-related pairs. You've got a lot of news today and tomorrow, so it's going to be interesting 48 hours in the markets. Of course, any recommendations you're looking at, let us know as well. But we'll start with the DXY as always. So as I was discussing yesterday with the dollar, well, generally speaking with the dollar, I'm still very bearish, not necessarily in terms of looking to actively sell. In terms of the location, we're definitely bearish, or at least I am anyway, from this particular area. I'm looking at downside with the price turning around. If we do see the breakout, maybe the news is very bullish today for USD and price does break through the highs. If that's the case, Price will break through the highs. I'll see a strong close on the weekly chart, maybe this week above the highs there. And of course, I will look to take that into consideration and maybe talk about some long opportunities following that, next few weeks and beginning of next year, really. So that is an opportunity which I'll look for. But at the moment in time, price is still respecting this area as resistance. Therefore, I'm looking for selling opportunities. However, if I drop to the 4-hour chart, as we've been speaking quite a lot recently, you can see price kind of break structure on the 4-hour time frame, breaking through the highs here, which is a sign of bullish behavior. Market double bottomed very well down here on the 4-hour chart. Retest one low, retest the second low, respective of a big bullish engulfing candle, and the price has cleared that level of resistance very well. So it looks to me that USD can at least see some strength back to the highs. Again, whether we break through or come back down, we'll judge that when we get there, see what type of price action we're getting. But at the moment, I can definitely see that price has broken through that level very, very well. And it looks like it's had a successful retest as well. So as you can see, price come back down for the retest. I believe this was yesterday. Haven't really seen much momentum after that. We've been quite choppy. It's almost like price is consolidating above the range there a little bit. As long as we stay above this area, I do think we're just going to see the continuation back to the high at 107.6. So my kind of bias for today with USD is bullish. Of course, the news is going to have a big say with that, so I would take that with a pinch of salt. Really, our main focus today is to see what happens regarding the news, and that will set up the bias for the remainder of the week. But yeah, technicals right now do point to the upside, so I'm looking for further upside for dollar. Of course, if you take that information into euro, that's probably going to be a bearish bias for your USD. Because of course, if USD is going to see that move to the upside, euro is probably going to take a push to the downside. As I've spoken about the support level, I'm not quite convinced that's going to hold, and so far it's doing a good job. But overall, still very corrected, not seeing much momentum coming to the markets. So I'm reluctant to expect to see a bounce from this area. I do think potentially might break through and get the bigger move to the downside. But again, for euro, another market which I'm pretty bullish on because of where we're trading, massive low here. I do think the price could definitely turn around. We're going to see a lot of upside. Not really seeing much of that just yet, but it is an area where that is a real possibility. Again, if USD becomes strong today, we see USD break the high at 107.6, and we see euro go and break this low, see some strong candle closures. I've been saying I will change the bias, but now, since we're still comfortably holding on to that area, I do remain bullish on euro, expecting some upside. But because of USD and breaking that 4-hour resistance, we probably will see euro take a bit of a dive. And that might take us back down to 1.038. Maybe from there we bounce, we break through, we'll of course analyze and see what we're getting at those areas. But that is so far still the bias with euro. In terms of pound USD, same thing as well. Pound USD has had a nice bounce. I think pound has been a little bit stronger than euro over the past kind of 24 hours. Hence, we've had quite a nice reaction off that low. Still very bullish on pound USD as well. I said I really like the double bottom setup if it should occur. This is the area which I'm looking to get involved back at 1.25, big psychological level at that area. Again, if I expand to the higher time frames, you can see overall market still flowing in this bullish structure, and we're trading at those areas where again a high low could be very likely, second, third, and potentially a fourth. So the idea is that we're looking for something like this. If we continue lower and start breaking through some areas there, and maybe it's a sign that okay, we're not going to form that higher low. I need to rethink things. But so far we're in that bullish territory, and that's a key sign of a key element of my trading is focusing on what location we're trading in. You know, are we trading in areas where we could put a low high in, an area where we could potentially put a high low in, or continue a trend or reverse a trend? And those are the main things I'm focusing on. And if I can position myself in those areas appropriately, then there's going to be trades where you catch some big runners because the trend does continue. And the idea is really maximize your gains, minimize the losses. But overall, that's what we're looking at for pound. Still bullish bias, and 1.25 is the area. And again, if USD is going to be strong, you might see something like this today or the next couple of days with pound USD. In terms of dollar CAD, this one has been very bullish as well, flying to the upside. Price has really soared and kind of beat my expectations of what I expected price to do. I wasn't expecting us to be that bullish, but we are. It looks like we've really left behind this weekly zone here, and in that case, I'm expecting us to push to the next weekly zone, which is all the way back up at 1.46. So to me, USD CAD looking very bullish, and there could still be a lot more upside. We're kind of like halfway through our journey, so to speak, or maybe 60%, but we've broken through the high. That's the next big level. And it looks like we just kind of crossed the halfway mark. So really, I'm just looking for pullbacks on dollar CAD. Yeah, really looking for pullbacks. I said I was looking for a retest of this structure. I don't think that's looking very logical anymore because the market's really pulled away. I did say yesterday that if we do keep pushing, I will now look for the retest of the high. That's exactly what I'm looking for now. Looking for price to come back, retest that high. Hopefully get some continuations from that. So pullback, correction, looking for my opportunities, and then looking to take it to the upside. But in this case, I do see a lot more upside for dollar CAD. So it's really an opportunity which I want to get involved with. Number one, momentum's good, trend's good, and there's still a long way to go to the next big target as well. So I would anticipate dollar CAD continuing. It's just about can we get a good pullback and kind of find some entries on that pullback as well. That's the only that's the only query there with dollar CAD. But I like the opportunity. Aussie dollar doing the opposite. Falling to the downside pretty aggressively the past couple of days, especially with yesterday's candle closure, kind of really pulling away from this area of support. It looks like we're probably going to push back into the next level, which is this low here at 0.628. See what price does there. Again, I'm still actively looking for upside for Aussie dollar. I know we've been falling very hard for quite a while, but we've had such a big drop, so I'm no longer interested in the sells. And if I was looking to sell this, I should already be in the position, but of course I'm not. So I'm now looking to try and go against this and see if I can find some upside opportunities. But at the moment, market's still very consistent with all these lower highs, and I have to stay on the sidelines and not making sure I'm not trying to jump the gun on this because we could still keep falling. If USD is going to break out and see some strength today or the remainder of the week, then Aussie dollar likely is going to keep falling. But if we do start to stall, put some double bottoms in, maybe break some structure as well, higher lows, then I can start looking to take some longs. And I do think it'll be a pretty big move because we are due one pretty much for all the USD pairs. And New Zealand dollar, similar situation. However, we don't really have a level to look at just yet. The next level would be down here at 0.55, which is quite a distance away. Really strong level down there. We've just broken through this one. So yeah, the market is looking very bearish. So I think if you're on the lower time frames, intraday shorts look good, riding that momentum. You don't really want to go against this at all until we see some evidence of price turning around. If you're like on the hourly chart and below, I would be looking at some corrections, trying to plot the next lower high and keep riding that momentum until proven otherwise, especially now that we've broken through such a key level here at 0.578. That's a really key sign that, okay, we can probably expect more downside. And if that is the case, we're probably going to push back to that next low. Maybe not one go, but yeah, that's probably the next logical target for New Zealand dollar. So yeah, I would say if you're shorting this one on the low time frames, it still looks good. You're essentially looking to ride that momentum. I probably wouldn't try and short it all the way back to 0.55, but yeah, that's the direction looks like we're heading. But yeah, still looking very bearish. No, change of structure, no higher highs or high lows. So definitely not ready to be longed just yet. But one I'll keep an eye on. And then of course you've got your lovely gold and silver. So gold, I'm pretty sure with this one we haven't seen too much price action since we last spoke. Yeah, prices it's pushed up a little bit, but overall we've been looking for a push back down to this area. I still think that's a pretty logical and a likely move, and I think it's still a nice place for a buy. As I said yesterday, not as confident with the longs because we didn't create new highs. We respected them. So overall, it's kind of like gold is forming a bit of a range now. I still think the buys down at that low, 26.20, look good. I said yesterday a push back to this area here could be a nice target to have, a bit more of a shorter term point of view. I'm still long-term bullish, looking to take gold back to the all-time highs at 27.90. But just don't have the opportunity or the setup to do that just yet. But I think this is still a nice trade if you're looking for some longs. And if you're looking for some shorts, I don't think, if you're looking for some shorts, I wouldn't mind some selling opportunities on the way down. Trying to look for that move. Had a nice high over here, second there as well. Might go put a third one in and catch a nice sell, maybe from this area here. I'm not the biggest fan because it's kind of like in the middle of a range, but it looks like we do have a nice kind of bearish trend going on. And if we are going to get pushed to the low, there might be some shorts to ride it down until we get there. So yeah, I would keep an eye on that. But silver looks good for the sells, especially because of the weekly time frame. Really big wick to the upside, which of course we can see in all its glory over there. Big wick. So I'm anticipating more downside. It's kind of like prices fake the high to continue lower. So a scoot back to the 4-hour chart. I've talked a lot about this area here. I mean, it's very far away now, so I'm not too sure if we'll get that bigger pullback, but I think that would be a great place for a short, especially because it does look like silver is consolidating. I said gold looks like it's consolidating, but silver is definitely consolidating between the highs here and the resistance here. And this to me looks like a big fake out, especially verified with that big wick on the weekly chart. So I think this is still a really nice place for a short. Yeah, will we get there? Who knows? But I think that's a nice place for a short opportunity. And yeah, guys, that does bring us to my conclusion of USD, which is, yes, I do think we'll probably see some more upside. But I'm not really looking to take any buys just yet, apart from dollar CAD, because dollar CAD in the league of its own has broken through some key levels, and the trend looks like it's very much in full flow. It doesn't have any big obstacles left, so I don't mind looking for some pullbacks for dollar CAD. Anyway, guys, what is up? No way, my mic, I have the wrong mic on. Okay, how is that? Let me know if the mic's better. I think I had my computer mic on rather than the actual mic, which is not convenient at all. Yeah, let me know how the mic is. Okay, it's better. Okay, apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. The whole start of the stream was recording on a toaster, more or less, but I'm glad the mic's better. But anyway, guys, welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is well. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Ahmed. Good morning, Regina. Good morning, Doug. Sean, Ben, what's up? Good morning, Tashi. Good morning, CS Integrated. Good morning. Gordon, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Yeah, still going down, pound and euro, hanging clear, hang on to life a little bit. I know. I think pound, because Aussie, I know Aussie and New Zealand dollar have been very bearish, so they're in full flow. CAD's been pretty bearish as well, so that's where you kind of got Aussie dollar, USD CAD, and New Zealand dollar. They're kind of loving life, flowing very well, but euros being a bit strong, pounds being a bit strong, so they're kind of trying to hold their own against USD. But yeah, I'm not too sure how long that's going to last, to be honest. Will, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. I'm doing good, my man. Hope you are doing good as well. Ahmed, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Pound Seat Chef. Okay, we'll take a look. Marcus, that's there. Hopefully FMC can call some fireworks. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're kind of looking for. Close out the year. Yeah, of course. I mean, because again, next week and probably the week after, not going to see much movement. So this is kind of like the last normal week of the markets, really. You do it all again. Didn't understand your word. You're saying, okay, I'm gonna watch it back and see how bad it was. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna have to try and interpret what I said there. I mean, as the stream progresses, we'll go back over some of the markets I looked at, to be honest. Hey, what's up, everyone? I hope you are doing good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'll go through Pound Seat Chef for Amit. Oh yeah, I am short Pound Seat Chef. I thought you were gonna ask for Pound Seat Chef. Yeah, I'm short Pound Seat Chef. Oh, okay, it was not that bad. Good. So yeah, I did hop into some sales on Pound Seat Chef yesterday. It came into that area of the top of the range, and it kind of just faked the high, and we got a really solid close to the downside. So I gave Pound Seat Chef a go at the high there, knowing that, okay, I'm right at the top of this range. I'm looking for overall a continuation of the swing in July/August, which is this massive dump to the downside. I'm looking at still this is the correction for Pound Seat Chef. So the original plan for Pound Seat Chef definitely was waiting for the break of the consolidation and looking for some retest of the low, and then looking for some shorts to the downside. And I've been waiting for that opportunity for probably about a month, maybe even more, to be honest. I've been speaking about the breakout for a while. I think since this candle here, which is 31st of October. So yeah, more than a month actually. Not about a month and a half. So yeah, I've been waiting for that short for Pound CHF. Never come around. Price has just been rebounding the low and the high of the range, and yeah, so I've been waiting for the breakout. Never happened. So I decided to see if we can respect the high, because we had a really strong close yesterday above the range. So I was thinking, okay, potentially price is going to break to the upside now, and that opportunity is going to be void. But we had a really strong close to the downside, which gave us that fake out and closing back underneath the range high. So instead of waiting for the break of the low of the range, I'm looking to see if I can get a little bit early into the party, take the high of the range, look to see if I can trade the range, and then hopefully I can look to hold on to it a little bit further and trade the breakout as well. Best case scenario, of course. But I'll be more than happy to see if I can take advantage of that area, then see if I can maybe hold a little bit more of the position to run, and then try and look for some new positions below. If price, of course, does break to the upside, then the whole opportunity was void anyway, and price is never going to see the move I was looking for. But the idea is that we've had a healthy pullback. If I whip out the fib from the high to the low, we've creeped past 0.618, so it's been a healthy pullback. And we just tapped into this trend line here as well, connecting those recent swing highs. You've got one over there. You've got the second over here, and you've got the third over there, which of course was that big wick there on the daily chart as well. So I'm taking an area where I do expect us to form that high, nice big kind of double top and the continuation. And this is kind of the area which I do expect price to sell off from. And if we do break through, like I said, probably we aren't going to see the sell I'm looking for, and maybe price is going to do something like that. So I would look to change my bias. But the risk reward makes a lot of sense. It's not like I'm trading a small range anyway. I think it's a 1 to 3 back down to the low of the range, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, more than the 1 to 3 back down to low of the range. So I'm happy with that risk reward. And like I said, if I can leave some positions to run, like I'm doing with CAD Yen, it could be a trade that really does open up back to the lows there. So the risk reward makes a load of sense. And I like the entry as well. It's not like we just tested the high of the range normally. We kind of shot up to the upside, which I know it would have sucked in a lot of bullish traders there to the upside looking to buy in the breakout. And we came straight back below, giving us a really strong close. So yeah, did hop onto some shorts there for pound CHF. But yeah, we'll see if price can hold on to that high. Okay, dollar CHF, I will have a look see for you, no problem. Looking for scalp buys 0.905. Okay, we'll have a look see. Yeah, that's the idea, Ben. Looking like a fake out to the upside. So if we can hold that high, I do expect us to turn around from there. Yeah, exactly, because it was such a strong candle as well. Looking at the characteristics of how price breaks and how price comes back inside a range is always key as well. Especially if you break out with a lot of momentum, then comes straight back down with a lot of momentum. That's always a nice characteristic to have. Of course, nothing's guaranteed, but if you see those signs there, it does kind of really increase the probability that it is a fake out and prices get ready to turn. If we had kind of like a slowish break to the upside like this, and that kind of slowly came back in, maybe that's a fake out too, but not something I'll be too confident taking. If we had a nice rush to the upside and then price comes straight back down, it's always a nice sign at the top of a lower range. Anyway, I'll go through dollar CHF for you. See it's integrated. Oh, how do you want you in some buys some pound CHF? No way. I thought you exited your buys. I thought your take profit was the highs here. I thought you were taking your profit, and I was looking to get into some sales. Anyway, I'll go through dollar CHF for CS integrated. So yeah, dollar CHF, this one has hit some nice heights as well. Came back into the resistance, bit of a reaction there. Again, with dollar CHF, I'm not really a fan favorite of this one in terms of the biggest swing because, as I've talked about it, we're kind of trading in the middle of a range. So it's not a pair which I'm looking at personally. It's a really big range, of course, but I don't really have too much edge because we're kind of in the middle of it. If price was a little bit higher up to the high or down at the low, I can do something with it. But in the middle, I kind of want to stay away. But we do have, though, is a nice bullish trend. The market has been trending for quite a while now to the upside, seen some nice higher highs and higher lows. So if I was looking to take some buys, looking to trade this one, it would be looking for shorter term bullish opportunities, looking to see if I can take piece of the pie as we push up. Because if we do keep pushing up, we probably could still push to the high of the range, which is still a long way to go if that's the case. And you said you're looking to sculpt some buys from 0.905. Okay, that's a pretty big sculpt there, CS integrated. Okay, you plan to enter from 0.883. Where is 0.883? Are you sure this is a sculpt? You're looking for entries down there and your targets up there. I'm probably reading it wrong, aren't I? But yeah, I'm not quite seeing the sculpt here. And sculpt buy to 0.9, 0.905. Yeah, and that's not really a scalp, is it? That's a pretty big trade there. You're looking at, if I get my measuring tape out, where is it? There it is. Um, yeah, you're looking at about 181 pips there and 200 pips there to the upside. It's a pretty big scalp there. But anyway, in terms of like what I said, the market does have a nice trend to it. So if I was looking for opportunities, I would probably be looking at bullish opportunities for this one, but I would wait to see if we can break through the high first, because of course we've had some evidence of price struggling at that high at 0.89. But of course, if we are potentially going to see a swing back to the higher end of the range, so let's say this is our range high, that's our range low. Price, of course, has come back from retesting the low very well, really strong reaction. And since then, we have had a pretty nice bullish trend there. So if this is going to continue back to the high, let's say, if we continue keep breaking the highs, then opportunities like that do look good for some retests and some longs. And it's probably not a scalp either, to be honest, but it would be a nice swing trade there, which I probably wouldn't want to hold just because of how choppy the market is. But if the trend is going to continue, that's kind of where I expect it to continue to. But yeah, I would wait for evidence of price breaking the high. Yeah, before looking to get into the buys, because of course that will show that the market is continuing to the upside. So yeah, overall dollar CHF, I think we got a nice bullish trend on our hands, but I'm not a big fan of the conditions because overall, kind of like a big range. But if we do break the highs there, that kind of says to us that, okay, dollar CHF is still bullish, especially if USD does see that move I've talked about. Dollar still strong. Okay, we're probably going to push to the high of the range now, and that could be a nice opportunity there as well. So yeah, dollar CHF, I can see that upside, and if USD is going to be strong as well, that's definitely going to play into your hands too. Holy One, you said I was never in pound CHF. Oh, was it pound NZD you meant? Yeah, I'm confused as well. A lot of confusion here on the stream this morning, guys. What's going on? Talking in tongues here. What's up, Antonio? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Blessing. Okay, we'll take a look at dollar yen and euro yen. No problem. US 30. Okay, I'll add that to the list as well. Okay, we'll take a look at gold too. No problem. No problem. Okay, you bought dollar CHF hours ago. Okay, do you mean dollar CHF instead of pound CHF? No worries, CS Integrator. That's a pretty big scalp, man. That's a pretty big scalp. But yeah, I would have to agree with that bias if you do end up breaking the high. Anyway, let's go through a couple of the yen pairs. I'll take a look at US 30 as well, and we'll probably go through the rest of the yen pairs. But Blessing suggested dollar yen and euro yen. So with dollar yen, I did speak about this one yesterday in terms of, okay, we've got to a price where we could potentially turn around and see the next lower high. And I'm still looking at that, but I don't really have much evidence yet. Had a bit of a dip to the downside yesterday, but nothing really to get too excited about. Potentially, we could be getting ready for a bit of a double top. Price gets back to the high, and then potentially we can look for a sell in respect to that. But I want to see strong evidence of a lower high developing. Strong evidence. Otherwise, I would expect dollar yen to probably keep pushing back to the high here, which is at 156.5. And of course, at that point, I definitely don't want to be looking at any selling opportunities there if this is going to continue to run. Of course, always a little bit tricky in the USD pair going into the interest rate this afternoon. So it's probably best in terms of really analyzing it post Fed interest rate. But this is still bearish territory for me. So I'm looking for the sells here. It's kind of broken through the area I was looking to short from, which is this zone here at 153.6. So again, that's why I'm looking for price to really talk to me in terms of coming back underneath that area, show me really strong signs of reversal. Otherwise, we may just kind of continue to the upside there. So dollar yen still a market I'm looking to short, and looks like we are still very corrective in this up move. So I still think we can see a move down. But yeah, not really seeing great confirmations or or entry opportunities to get involved in a trade just yet. And the main kind of thing here is that, okay, we're at a nice area too short, but we don't just short it because it is at a nice area. It has to look like a good short as well, which is not quite doing yet. So when both of those boxes are ticked, then I can find an entry. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for that opportunity. If not, like I said, I do think if we take out this high, if we take out 154.5, then yeah, I do think we're going to push back to the high there at 156.6. So if you are looking at buying opportunities, I would say it makes sense on the lower time frames. Still do have a bit of a trend there. But if we push up and take out the highs again, yeah, we probably are going to push back to 156.6 at that stage. So pullbacks and long opportunities look really good on the lower time frames, I must admit. So that's kind of where I'm at with dollar yen. In terms of euro yen, it's a similar situation. Again, had a bit of move to the downside. I did talk about some buying opportunities on the hourly chart. Could still see a reaction to the upside from this area of confluence, if you guys see, but connecting that high low there. I talked about this high here as well. Not a bad place for a buy. Again, overall for euro yen, I'm still pretty short bias. I'm not really looking for these opportunities, but I know you do look at the lower time frames, and I think this is a nice place for a buy. I like how price is retracing, still pretty corrective. And this area here has proven to be a solid level of resistance at a really solid breakout, no prior retest as well. And of course, we've got some really nice confluence. I think we do have the 1 hour 200 in that area. Yes, we do. So it's a nice confluence area, I must admit, there for euro yen, and a place where we could bounce and see the continuation. Of course, if we do end up breaking through that trend line, then probably I'm going to see that bearish move I'm looking for. But yeah, the 4 hour chart not looking quite there for me. I know we're still putting these lower highs in, same with dollar yen as well. And this could be the next high, but again, I need to see a bit more evidence before I do anticipate any more downside on the 4 hour chart just yet. But I know you look at the lower time frames, and I think if you are looking at the lower time frames, the buys still look good for now until we start breaking some lows. So yeah, so that's kind of my verdict for the yen pairs on the lower time frames. In terms of US 30 and gold, let's go take a look. Is US 30 still falling? What's going on? Okay, we had a bit of a reaction. Okay, so this is the second area I talked about yesterday. Did we test it? I think we just about did. So this is the second area I talked about yesterday, because the first area I mentioned as a nice place for a buy was this area. So 43,806 would be a nice place for price to turn around. However, we didn't quite see that. Price remained in this bearish channel here and just kept falling really. And yeah, just continued to fall. We didn't really see any signs of reversal. But now we've tested this area. I like this area for a buy as well. If I whip out the fib from the low to the high, I'm pretty sure we've climbed into that 0.786 area, just about tapped into it. And of course, a nice area of resistance. We did have a bit of a consolidation here as well before we did see a really sharp move to the upside with a lot of momentum. So there's evidence of a lot of buys being in this area, and we could see a nice opportunity for for US 30 to continue higher. If we don't respect this area and start breaking through, especially if we take out that low there. Ooh, did not mean that to happen, especially if we take out this low here. There we go. Then I'm going to have to back away from US 30, at least from a bullish bias, because at that point, it definitely does mean that, okay, price is probably going to give us a bit of a counter trend move. It's still bullish, of course, longer term, but we could see a sell that could last maybe a few weeks before we do actually continue pushing up, because we have been very bullish for a while. Haven't really seen a longer term correction, arguably since this one over here, or maybe this one here as well. So we could see something like that develop, retest some structure before we get on our way. So yeah, so very key low to keep focused on. If it does break, probably going to see some sales for a couple of weeks. But yeah, nice area looking for a bounce. Okay, so I'll go take a look at gold, and then we'll probably go through the rest of the yen pairs. Okay. Profit pound CHF bought this morning. Other trades saw was pound NZD. Okay. Okay, right. Okay, so you're in pound CHF. Okay. And dollar CHF. So yeah, just went through US 30 there, Antonio. I hope you caught that. Now she's using. I've always used the 200 Hurley one. I've always used the 200 one, 200 moving average for confluence. I mean, it's not the top of my confluences, but I do like using it as a kind of like a barometer of where kind of the bigger, not necessarily trend, but kind of where we are in relation to the average of the market. Hey, what's up, Nanad? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. See you integrated. Appreciate that, man. If you guys are joining the stream, by the way, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, make sure you hit the bell. It does really help out. And yeah, I do appreciate everyone who has liked the stream so far, subscribed, all that stuff. It does really help out, guys. Yes, Ahmed, I'll go through the rest of the yen pairs now. I'll just go through gold quickly, then I'll go through the rest of the yen pairs. Okay, good. So yeah, let me go through XAU USD. So with gold, I do like the buys down at 26.20. I think that's a nice place for a buy, only on the short term. I'm very long-term bullish, but because we respect the high there last week, it's kind of getting a little bit awkward right now. Kind of looks like both gold and silver kind of falling a bit of a range right now. But I think it's a nice place for a long 26.20. If you're on the lower time frames looking for opportunities at the moment, I do get the impression that we could still see another drop for gold, maybe a push. Oh, that's the wrong tool. Maybe a push to the upside. We put another high in, and then we get potentially a bit of a sell. That could be a nice opportunity this afternoon, maybe. Of course, it's you're gonna have to take that for a pinch of salt because we do have some heavy news later today, and that's going to dictate what happens with price. So again, a lot of the analysis I do today is kind of just in preparation for the news. But once the news is out for USD, then you can probably get to the real analysis and see what we could do potentially for the next few weeks. But for now, with gold, I do like further downside, and I do like the buys down at 26.20, but just kind of more short-term play. I'm looking and trying to get ready to catch nice buys back to the high, and that's really my goal with gold now, to see if I can catch that next wave to the upside. But it's not quite set yet for me to be looking for long. Same thing with silver as well. I'm trying to get ready for some buys for silver because I do expect both of them to really rally next year and continue to push back to the highs and a lot further, especially silver. But yeah, it just doesn't look quite ready yet. Might still see some more downside, especially with the price action we've got. So yeah, on the sidelines with them, but in terms of the short-term moves, that's kind of what I'm looking at. And in terms of silver, I like the range play here from the high back to the low, especially with that big fake out. But of course, nowhere near that opportunity right now. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with gold and silver. So keep an eye out for those specific areas because I do think we can get some nice interactions. But jumping back over to the yen pairs. So as I said, with euro yen and dollar yen, we have seen a bit of upside for. Actually, let me go to the yen basket, see what that is saying. Okay, so we had a bit of a reaction to the upside yesterday. It hasn't really set the world alight though, because the market is still pretty corrective and we are still forming these lower highs here. So that's really what to worry about. Are we forming another one, or is price getting ready to break structure? Possibly, we'll probably find out this afternoon. But this, as I said yesterday, is a very important area because if price can respect it, it's an area where we could definitely reverse and change direction. If price does break through, then we probably are just going to come back into the low. And if we go and break through that as well, then we probably are just going to continue to trend lower. And of course, that will mean the yen pairs will trend higher. These guys are inversely inversely correlated. That's the right word. Inversely correlated to the rest of the yen pairs. So when this does head down, the yen pairs do head up. So yeah, we're at an area where it's a little bit awkward, I must admit. And if we do continue to break through 63.97, which is this low here, I do think price will continue falling, and we'll probably see the yen pairs continue pushing up. So I'm looking to see maybe if we do form a bit of a double bottom here and then get the push to the upside. But in the meantime, there still might be some nice downside in store for the yen basket, which means upside in store for the yen pairs. So again, if you take this into consideration for pound yen, still a yen pair which I'm looking to try and sell, but there is no sell opportunity. I like the fact that we are still very corrective on the way up, but it's just very difficult to find a trade here. Market's just taking out high after high, not really seeing aggressive opportunities to short, not seeing strong bearish pressure on the candlesticks. It kind of still looks like a trend that still wants to fight higher. So I do think in the lower time frames, looking for buys actually makes a lot of sense here. Just like we spoke about with euro yen, just like we spoke about with dollar yen as well. It looks like pound yen's doing a good job of respecting the high, which we were talking about yesterday. Seeing some really strong momentum on this on this hourly candle close, which is about to close in 15 minutes. But it looks like we're kind of bottoming out at this low. Potentially could get ready for another continuation. Really nice push to the upside. That looks like a bit of a correction there, and price might continue a little bit higher. We'll also talk about these areas just below. I think those look nice for some buys too. But yeah, if you're on an intraday time frame, I think the buys look good. The sells on the 4 hour time frame do not look good right now. And I'm kind of just staying away, looking to see if they do become good. A lot of news this week. Maybe it does. Sometimes the market does kind of wait for news to turn directions. I've seen that happen a million times with NFP. And with interest rate decisions as well. So sometimes we could wait for those events and they change the direction of the market, and an uptrend becomes a downtrend. So that could happen in the next 48 hours with the USD interest rates, the pound interest rates, and the yen interest rates all can literally affect this market here, pound yen. So it's going to be interesting 48 hours. At the moment, it's still looking bullish. And if I was on the low time frames, I'll still be looking to see if I can get a push back to the high, which would be 195.785 there. Maybe we continue beyond that. Maybe we turn back down, but at least from an intraday level, that looks like a likely move. The 4 hour shorts I've been speaking of, like I said, just don't look good at the moment. So yeah, hopefully that made sense on pound yen. We'll go through the rest of them: Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, Swiss yen. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true, Hollywood. When the news comes out, it's anyone's game really, especially the initial kind of reactions and how price moves. Yeah, that's unfortunate, my man. That's unfortunate, but that's the news for you. It doesn't discriminate. Every trader will have those situations where you're floating some nice profit and then kaboom, it just evaporates in the blink of an eye, really. And sometimes the news will go in your favor as well. It kind of gives with one hand, takes with the other as well. There will be many times where news accelerates your trades to take profits or just in your direction very well. So it does have that side of it too. But yeah, especially when you get the big news events, it's always difficult to try and really, especially if you're in the lower time frames as well, because you can have tighter risk and bigger lot sizes and spread widening will be a factor as well. So there's a lot of things you have to think about. But yeah, in terms of Aussie yen, Aussie yen seeing some downside. This one's been very bearish. I think it's more so to do with Aussie rather than anything. Yen has been a little bit strong this week, but overall nothing crazy. You can see Aussie yen's had quite a nice move to the downside if you compare it to dollar yen and euro yen and pound yen, which we looked at. Aussie's been very, very bearish. But again, it's difficult to short because, as I said, coming into the week, there's only one area which I would short Aussie yen from, and that would be this area up here, which is, again, retesting that low of the range. Really solid support over there. We had the highs over here as well. Price had a lovely breakout to the downside. And I said if price can come back, retest the high there, that'd be a great place for a short. Of course, we're still a long, long way away from that. But I think that still would be a nice area to short from and expect price to see some more downside. However, we're not there. So I'm not really interested in this pair. Maybe we do keep falling and just keep doing, see some more downside, which is still my bias for Aussie yen. Expand to the higher time frames. We had such a big drop in July. This to me looks like a correction. I'm expecting price to continue lower. Lovely range there. Sharp break to the downside. So yeah, I am pretty bearish in the higher time frames. But unless we get a pullback to, what price is that? 99.450. I don't see myself taking any positions here. So yeah, I'm going to have to be patient with that with Aussie yen. With current price, difficult to say what we're going to do next, really. It's looking pretty bearish. Looks like it's taking out some lows there too. But yeah, I'm not really looking to get involved at these prices, really. In terms of New Zealand yen, it's partner in crime. This one has had a similar situation. A nice push to the upside, followed by a big push back down again. Looks like we are coming back into some lower time frames area of support. We'll see what happens at those areas. But again, in terms of a short, this is really the area I'm looking for. Looks like we kind of formed a nice kind of double top there. Price respect came back down. But again, the pullback's not big enough for me to get excited about it. I'm looking at least a pullback of 50%. If I whip out the fib from the high to the low, you can see 50 not quite met. We've got 0.618 in that area. So that's really where my attention would lie, because that's where I've got the most confidence. But yeah, again, same situation. Lovely range, lovely break to the downside. Just looking for the retest of that same area, which unfortunately just hasn't happened yet. So I'm not really interested at these prices. So I'm not going to speak too much about them. If we have a big pullback for some reason, I'll be there waiting. But maybe we continue falling. And of course, you can see a lot of momentum there. So New Zealand has been pretty weak. In terms of CAD Yen, the yen pair, which I have been trading, again, this one, we have seen some nice momentum, not quite sold on it yet. This is going to be the next high. Great. Let's keep going. But again, as we come back to some structure, we're starting to find it a little bit difficult. If yen doesn't see some strength coming in, it's going to be difficult. And the main reason why we've seen some downside here for CAD yen is more to do with CAD rather than yen, which is not great, because I want it to be due to yen, because yen is kind of the governing currency of the yen pairs as a whole. That kind of dictates direction. Of course, you can have CAD strength, some pound strength, some euro weakness, and all that will come into play. But really, you want moves to be down to the yen, because that's what is going to dictate the long term. So we've had a nice push to the downside, but if CAD doesn't keep up its weakness, this thing could very much turn around. But yeah, I'm still holding on to the trades. We haven't really seen any sharp momentum to the upside, so there's no big red flags for me to exit the trade. My trading stop loss is still at the high there, so worst case scenario, I will still be trailed out at this level here, just above 109.6. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we keep falling, and I'll keep holding to the trade. I'm still looking for 103 down there. And yeah, there's nothing really for me to do apart from just see what happens, really. And then, of course, you got your lovely CHF JPY, which I did see a lot of downside, but again, more so to do with CHF being pretty weak yesterday. Strong move to the downside. We do respect the highs pretty well, but overall looks like we're forming a bit of a range. So I have stayed out of this one. And again, if we end up breaking the high here, I do think we'll probably see price go a long way as well. And same with the other way. If price does break this low here, then that double top has kind of come very much into play, breaks the neckline. At that point, we've got a good chance of coming back to the low as well. So see what price does with the range there with CHF JPY. But yeah, the yen pairs haven't looked as good, I must say, as time's gone on. I do like all of them to the downside pretty much still, because again, my bias doesn't really come from the 4-hour chart. It comes from the daily, weekly, and they still look like they've got more downside in them. But for CHF JPY, if you can clear that low there, I think that really does look like a nice short back to the low. Equally so, if you clear the high, we could push back to some prices up there, and they'll definitely start to back away from the shorts at that point. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the yen pairs. Where was I? Ping 1337. What is up? Okay, I'll talk about pound Aussie for you. No problem. Long for 1 point. This okay. I'll take a look at that partial stop even. Okay, nice. We'll take a look. What's up, Tony Gold? Welcome to the stream, my man. Hope you are well. Welcome. One Kajin will still okay. Looking to short Kajin from 200. Yeah, I think it still looks good. Seen some momentum. I just want to see some more yen strength come back into the market because we haven't really seen it. And it was a nice drop yesterday for CAD, I must admit, but it was purely for CAD. Pretty much all CAD pairs were seeing weakness. Dollar CAD flying. I think Aussie CAD pushed up a little bit. Maybe not so because Aussie being weak too. I know Euro CAD, Pound CAD's all seen some nice moves. So yeah, I'm just looking for that yen weakness to come into play. Yen strength, sorry. But yeah, it was a nice reaction at that. So you're looking for price if it goes towards the 200, looking to sell. Okay. Well, hopefully for both of our sake, we do see price continue lower. It's been an awkward phase here, but I am still looking at that bigger move. Okay, so let me go through pound Aussie for ping, and then I'll take a look at that CHF JPY opportunity you're talking about there, Eric. Hey, what's up, more? Welcome to the streamer, man. Hope you're doing good. Welcome. Okay, let me head over to pound Aussie quickly, then I'll go back to some of the yen pairs. So, wow, would you look at that? Pound Aussie is flying, taking out those highs like it's nothing. So yeah, with pound Aussie, you said you are long. Okay, got in this morning, partial stop even from 1.98968. Let me drop to the hourly chart. 98968. Wait, you sure you got in this morning? Because last time we were here was 16th of December. Wow, that's a pretty big move. But yeah, I mean, it's a lovely move to the upside. Price is looking very bullish. The key thing now is that we've taken out the highs here. But also the key thing is that we are still very persistent with the trend as well. So I wouldn't panic too much, but I would lock in some gains. But as you said, Ping, you said you have locked in gains and your stop losses break even. What's the target with the trade? What's the plan with the trade? You trading stops? You want to see how it goes? Because of course now we're taking out that high there. It's kind of like nowhere else to look at for a while. Last time we had these prices were back in 2020. Which is not far away from 5 years ago, believe it or not. So yeah, we're taking out some fresh highs, and now we're coming into some enchanted territory. So I like the momentum looking good, but you can see what happened last time we took out a high. Price carried on bullish for a while, topped out, pushed down. We could see price do something similar, maybe continue for a few more hours. I don't know, it depends what we do with the news, but again, we could end up doing something like that. So I do think a pullback is pretty likely, especially when coming to fresh highs. So I would watch out for that. Current momentum looks good. But now that we have taken out the high there, the next bigger move for pound Aussie, I would guess, would be back for retracement. So I would be keeping a close eye on pound Aussie. But yeah, it looks bullish. Momentum looks good. And the higher time frames are in your favor as well. It's not like everything is down, but we're pushing up. Everything is still pretty much up with pound Aussie. So yeah, the wind is definitely in your sails. Okay, you took partial this morning. Okay, I see. 2.05 would be a target. 2.05. Oh, that's 2.05. That's a big move you're looking for. How come 2.05? Okay, so I assume you're looking at the high here on the left. Yeah, price has a good chance of getting there, I would say. Price does have a good chance of getting there. The only key thing, I mean, depends your management, your risk reward, because there's no really right or wrong way to trade per se. Because there will be situations where, okay, you look for really big targets and price just makes that move very, very well. And there'll be times you have big targets and it moves halfway and then it comes back against you and you're like, oh, I should have took profit. Um, so, only hindsight will tell you what you should have done, of course. But what I would say is if you're looking for those big targets, be prepared to lock in gains along the way. I know you said you took partials this morning. I would be locking in gains as we do push on because there is definitely evidence of the deeper pullbacks. We had a really deep pullback after we took out this major high here. Who's to say we won't go through another deep pullback like this before getting to that high? So I would be careful of that happening. But I wouldn't say close out early because if the trade does play out, it could be very rewarding. I would lock in gains or trail stops along the way. So yeah, your target does make sense actually based on the higher time frames. I think there's a pretty good chance we do get there, but we may come back to your entry first before that happening. So I'd watch out for that. Okay, you're bearish on every yen pair. Okay, nice. Maybe the best setup, they're not all moving the same. Of course, of course, of course. Okay, Eric, I'll take a look at that Swiss yen opportunity you just mentioned. Okay, we'll go through CHF JPY first, and then we'll take a look at the euro, or the euro pairs, some of the other yen pairs as well. Eric also on Aussie CAD. Okay, so I'll go through CHF JPY first. I'll take a look at Aussie CAD, and then we'll go through some of the other yen pairs too. I think I've covered all of them, to be honest. Of course, if you guys want me to look at a certain pair, let me know. Anyway, we'll go through CHF JPY. So you said you're looking for some shorts with this one, if I'm not mistaken. Where is your message? Okay, there is. I think short CHF JPY. Okay, so you listen to Confluences, nice day for. Yeah, I agree. Dave such a clean as well, potentially form a lower high. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm kind of looking for as well. If this is going to be the next lower high, then I'm looking for price to continue back to the downside, back to the lows, because overall we did have a break of structure here on the left, and this to me looks like a lower high in comparison to this high. So if that's true, if that's the case, then you're expecting price to come back down there. Yeah, that's the goal there from a daily perspective. But of course, we're not trading on the daily chart, or at least I'm not anyway. We're looking to refine our entries for me on the 4 hour, maybe looking to refine it further on the hourly or even lower than that. But the idea is just basically looking to time it well. That's the expectation. We're looking for us to come back into that low. Of course, whether we actually do that or not, that's a different question. But yeah, that's what my. Yeah, with CHFJPY, I like it. It's been a little bit sideways the past kind of maybe 2, 3 days, a bit sideways. But I think the key thing is that we're failing at the highs there, which is kind of what I'm taking away from this. Overall, price has been pretty consistent with these lower highs. One, two, these are your equal highs there as well, and potentially we're seeing that again. So in terms of looking to short it, I think there's two ways to go about it. You're either looking for price to push back into the high, then catch some shorts, or wait to see price break the low first and then take some shorts on that. Um, in that kind of way, it doesn't have to be specifically a retest of that low, but underneath that area because you're looking for the break of structure. So yeah, I do like CHF JPY to the downside. In terms of shorts, I think that's kind of what you'd be looking for. This being the more aggressive of the opportunity, trying to catch the high. Of course, slightly bit more rewarding if it does play out, got a higher price, better risk reward. You can hold into the trade a little bit further as well. This being a bit more safer, more conservative trade, but still, again, could be a great trade if it does play out as well. So yeah, I would agree. CHF JPY looks like we can see definitely more downside to it, and hopefully we can continue to keep pushing. But pretty much all the yen pairs in a similar situation to this as well. It's like they are looking okay, but they're just not quite forming the highs I want them to, like pound yen, euro yen, still being pushing to the upside. But like I said, potentially today things can definitely change around. I'll take a look at Aussie CAD next. You said, okay, also in Aussie CAD today. Loving how the daily candle rejection. Okay, so what are you doing with Aussie CAD? Excuse me. I'm guessing you're selling because you said you're loving the weakness, so you've got to be selling if that's the case. Loving the rejection on the daily candle. Are you talking about the last daily candle? Because the last daily candle was a little bit mixed there. Bit of a wick to the upside, wick to the downside. Didn't really have too much to say. I mean, overall with Aussie CAD, we've been very consistent with the lower highs. So I think that's the key takeaway for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm not sure if I'll call that 7, but it looks like we're forming a lower high and not breaking structure as well. So yeah, I have been waiting for a big move to the downside for Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD included as well. I'm looking for price to break lower. We've broken out of this lovely bullish channel here. Not maybe not the most convincing break, but we have broken through, and so far we're staying below as well. It's not like we shot back to the upside, closing back above it. So I do think this is a nice place to start looking for some shorts. I'm waiting for the momentum to pick up a little bit more before I do take some sales. I want to see price really breaking through. And I'll look for some lower highs because if price is breaking the trend line to really sell off, then I'm looking for us to push all the way back down to the low here, which is at 0.585698, which is a long, long way away. So I'm not too fussed about trying to get straight into a short somewhere up here where it's a little bit more choppy. Not that it's not a good opportunity, it's just a bit more choppy. I want it to be a bit more cleaner, a bit more. I want the trend to pick up the pace a little bit because it's still very, very corrective. But I do agree with the bias. I do think Aussie CAD can definitely see some more downside. Looks like we're trying to break out the consolidation this morning. Of course, you can see there's the range. We argue that's nice close below the gap below this week, last week, this week, this week. So, looks like we are trying to break out to the downside there, and if that is successful, we're gonna push back to the low. I would assume maybe that's your target back down to 0.9 maybe. But yeah, I do agree with the bias, just wanting to see a bit more downside. So, we'll have to be patient with that. Anywho, okay, where was I? If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Do really appreciate everyone who has liked the stream so far. Like I said, it does really help out. Pound Seed Chef gave you big green candle. Oh no, I'm shorting that one. How big is the candle? Pound Seed Chef. Okay, I mean, not that big. I was expecting a little bit bigger than that, but it definitely is still very bullish. But again, the key thing with me is that we're still holding on to that resistance level there. So as long as that can still stay true, then I'm still looking to hold on to that position. I'm assuming your target is probably back at the high there, Holy One. Back at 1.1, 1.13. More or less where I exit for a loss. Okay, we'll go through Pound Yen as well. Also, my broker, I'm trying to check. Only closing positions allowed. Yeah, I'm not too sure what that means. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Or only closing position. Maybe I don't know. Only allowed to close a position, but you need to open a position for you to close a position. So I don't know what that means. What's up, Manzondi? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Maybe actually that maybe actually be the case. It might actually you may be able to open the trade during the US session. So yeah, I'll try again when that happens. But yeah, I haven't had that happen to me before. Do I think fundamentally JY could surprise market horizon? Potentially, yeah, potentially. That could happen. I mean, of course, I mean rates are expected to stay the same with the yen, isn't it? Let me just have a quick check if that is the case. I mean, if that happens, then I mean, I'm kind of wanting that to happen, Eric, low key, because hopefully we can see some strength off the back of that, and that'll help out my CAD yen position. So yeah, rates are expected to stay the same, but yeah, we could see that surprise happen, um, and that will definitely help out with my short bias. But we'll see. Again, I don't try to predict things. You know, potentially you might get the surprise, potentially you might not get the surprise. I'm just going to see what happens, see how price reacts, and that's going to be my tool to see what I'm going to do with the end pairs for the rest of the year and maybe a bit after that as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Try not to be too predictive because either you get the prediction right or you get it wrong. If you get it right, great. If you get it wrong, it doesn't really matter really. It's just about the trades you're taking, if it makes sense, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, true. That could definitely be a possibility. Anyway, let me go to pound yen. So yeah, pound yen, we are looking a tad bullish here. Looks like pound's a bit bullish actually. But yeah, as I said earlier, it does look like the yen pairs on an intraday level still do have a bit more upside to them. Maybe that becomes a bit more longer term. We'll have to wait and see. But for pound yen's case, we're still very consistent with these higher lows. Price is still pushing to the upside pretty well. So I do think we can probably see price make another push back to the high, which would be 195.821. And maybe we see more highs after that. But it looks like we're having a solid retest of the low here. And looks like we're getting a nice little double bottom there as well. So pound yen, I do think more upside looks good. But again, in terms of finding some entries, I think the ship has definitely left. Because if you look for entries here, targets there, I mean, if your stop is there, the risk reward's a bit skewed. You're not necessarily looking at a very clean risk reward opportunity there. So I would say you want to be in the trade a little bit earlier, probably looking at lower time frames to really take advantage of that opportunity. Unless we come back down again, then that's a different situation. But yeah, I think from intraday level, pound yen's got a good chance to make it back to the highs this afternoon. And then we'll see what happens from there, because I'm still looking for a sell for pound yen. But yeah, at the moment we're still breaking highs, and if we do that again this afternoon, a strong break like that, then I'm going to have to really start to back away from shorting pound yen, especially if we start taking out the high there on the left, which is 197.8. If we take out that high there, yeah, we're probably going to push back to this high at that point, and I have to reassess where we're going from there. But at the moment in time, still respecting structure, so probably get another push back up again. So yeah, hopefully that made sense with pound yen. If anyone has mentioned the pair and I've just skipped over it or haven't got to it yet, just let me know in the chat. Sometimes I do forget. Okay, 30.85. Yes, back at the high of the wick there. More, no problem. Can barely make out what that emoji is. What on earth has happened with pound USD? Okay, take care, Will. Have a good one, my man. We'll catch you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and sub. Appreciate that, Will. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. But yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like and a subscribe. Um, yeah, it looks like pound is a bit strong because we just had a strong move there on pretty much all pound pairs. Pound USD, strong candle there to the upside. Not much has really happened though, Manzondi. I mean, I suppose if you're looking at the 15-minute chart, it's looking very, very bullish there. In the grand scheme of things, not much has happened with pound there. What's USD doing though? Is dollar looking bearish or bullish, or are we just a bit flat? Okay, we've switched directions a little bit on the open 4 hour candle, but I wouldn't say we're necessarily looking bearish. I'd say we're kind of just still flat. That's our high of the range, more or less. That's our low. Price has been dancing back and forth between that. So if we are going to be bullish this afternoon with dollar, expecting price to come and hold this area and just continue its move to the upside. If we do end up breaking through, that's a different situation. Still not really clear-cut selling opportunities, but maybe we do make a move back down to 105.7. But at the excuse me, don't know what happened there. But at the moment, price is holding on to support, so probably going to get a push to the upside. I have no idea what happened there. My voice just stopped working. But yeah, we're probably going to get pushed to the upside back to 107.6. How's Euro USD doing? Yeah, that's sideways as well. So it looks like the market is kind of waiting for the news, really. Euro USD has been flat as ever. Pound USD has seen some momentum, but I think pound just been really strong. So that's been the main driving force there. But yeah, I think we are a bit flat, and probably rightly so, because we've got USD, yen, and pound in the space of probably about 15 hours. So it should be an exciting. Yeah, by the time I start my stream or end the stream tomorrow, we would have had USD, yen, and Bank of England. So price action could be looking a lot different by the end of my stream tomorrow. Yeah, Manzoni, we have seen a bit momentum there on the 30-minute chart, most definitely there for pound. But my main focus there is really USD. I know pound's strong, but it's only going to last so long. Really in terms of the bias, in terms of where price is going to go, in terms of trends, USD is going to be the main catalyst for all of that. So even though pound is strong and seen some nice upside, my main focus still lies with what the dollar is going to do. But yeah, you're definitely right. It's a pretty big move down the 30-minute chart. Eric, fundamentally strong is even the data backing up. This week data says, oh, okay, pound's looking strong. I mean, we'll see what happens after the interest rates, because actually, no, the interest rate is expected to stay the same. I thought they were going to be cut. Looks like I was mistaken there. I mean, they could be cut, but they're expected to stay the same. Efficiency target now may close a little early. Well, that's up to your trade management, to be fair. What happened to not looking at the chart there, pound seat, Hurley one? Let price do its thing. I know, easier said than done, to be fair. Because at the end of our traders, we are looking at price. But yeah, for the end pairs, as I said, I'm keeping a close eye on them, but not quite ready for me yet, just at the moment. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do make a move to the upside, but I'm not really looking to buy them either. So I mean, I'm going to hold onto my CAD yen position, see what happens with this one. Still very bearish, still looking at push to 103. And again, I'm not naive. I know if I'm going to look for such a big move, there's going to be pullbacks, there's going to be bigger moves. There might be periods of consolidation as well. It's not a small move I'm looking for. But yeah, we'll see how everything goes. But my main focus probably will be with the yen basket, because if that level doesn't hold, I don't expect to see upside for yen. So this level here, if that level doesn't hold, I think yen's probably gonna keep falling back to the low. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's gonna be easier said than done. I mean, to not look at price completely and just kind of um, take the trade and just not look at it again. Of course, you're gonna have that natural kind of instinct to look at to see what your trade is doing. So it's gonna be very difficult to completely not do it. I think it's just gonna take time to really develop that habit. Because if you're just going from looking at your price all the time, looking at the charts all the time, to suddenly not looking at charts, taking a trade and just completely not looking at the chart, that's going to be quite a bit of a shock to the system. And you're going to have a bit of an itch. You're going to be like, okay, where is price? What is it doing? Um, so that is going to be a bit of a hard battle to fight. But over time, it will come easier because, of course, you get used to it. But yeah, initially, yeah, very, very difficult to do, 100%. Yeah, true. That is true as well. Talk the talk, but not walk the walk. A lot harder to walk the walk, really. Gold stuck in the middle of nowhere. Oh yeah, are you short? Are you shorting gold more? I think you mentioned you were selling gold, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, gold is a little bit sideways. Like we said earlier, it might just be waiting for the news this afternoon. I think all markets are. I mean, some are moving. Pound's seeing some movement. Um, Probably say Aussie, New Zealand look a bit weak still, so they'll be moving. But I think in terms of the USD markets anyway, we might be waiting till this afternoon to get the ball wrong. Do we have news before the interest rates? Because I've kind of just been focused on that. I might have missed something. Not really. We've got building permits at 1:30. That's not really something I'd focus on, to be honest. So yeah, it just mainly is the Fed interest rate at 7. So yeah, gold is being sideways. Gold has been sideways, but I do think we probably will keep falling, see a push back to low, and hope you get a nice little bounce from there, and might see what price does. But what's the plan with your gold trade more? Are you looking to short, for a really big move, or because I know you said you're looking to close your trades before the holidays. Yeah, keep one eye open and see profits where the candle is. Yeah, of course. Okay, fair enough. I mean, anyway, if we're coming up to the Christmas period as well, so and you said you were going to close your trades for that anyway. I mean, this is pretty much the last main week of everything, isn't it? So from next week till the week after that, probably not going to see much happening in the charts. Anyways, but let me start going through the crosses because I haven't really spoken much about them. I did dabble with some of the CAD pairs. We spoke briefly about Aussie CAD. I do like the shorts with this guy, but hasn't quite developed yet. So hopefully can see that pick up some momentum and start breaking the lows, and I can start speaking about something like this. But nothing really there for me just yet. In terms of pound CAD, that one's been pretty bullish. I think we broke through the high yesterday. Yes, we did very strongly as well. So this one, if this can continue further, it could actually present some really nice buys because we do have a major high here on the left, which is at 1.84. 835. So there is that possibility for a move back to the high there. And if you can really break through this resistance, then you're onto something because this has been a solid level resistance, which of course is now going to be acting as support. And you've got a nice range to play there. If I measure that in pips, how much are we talking about from that range there? 200 plus. So again, if you can get yourself decent like 50 pip stop loss, trade the range, 50 to 200 pips, 1 to 4, happy days. And 50 pip stop loss is pretty reasonable in this situation as well. So, and you probably could get it smaller if you're really trying to get on the lower time frames. But I think that's a nice opportunity. I wouldn't take the break me test just yet. It's been a nice break, but I would want price to push on a little bit further before I would look for the retest. But yeah, it looks like pound CAD might still push on. I think Euro CAD is looking pretty bullish as well. Yeah, strong break of the high. This one might be getting ready to push back to major resistance here as well, 1.515. Nice higher highs and nice higher lows as well. So at that point, again, looking for the next high low. Probably going to see price continue to the upside and join pound CAD. Both of them looking very bullish. It's funny because Euro CAD and pound CAD look pretty bullish, but then Aussie CAD and New Zealand CAD, I'm actually looking for sells. So it's a big kind of juxtaposition between these two pairs, even, well, not two pairs, four pairs, even though I wouldn't say they tend to move in the same direction, but they are definitely correlated because of CAD. But it looks like Aussie, New Zealand dollar, and Euro and pound are at complete contrast right now. But yeah, for New Zealand CAD as well, similar to Aussie CAD in terms of the long-standing bullish trend. It looks like price is breaking through that. It's not the cleanest break in the world, but it doesn't look like we're holding to turn around. So again, looking for this to continue a little bit lower and hopefully find some shorts and ride it to the low there. That's still very much the plan, just not very clean just yet. So that's really what I'm waiting for. If we can take out that low, that will give me the confidence that says, okay, the trend's continuing. And of course, I can look for some shorts there, maybe a retest of this area, maybe a retest of that area. It really does depend how we break out and how much momentum is in the breakout as well. But something like that is what I'll be interested in. So yeah, hoping New Zealand CAD can see some downside off the back of that. But it does look like Euro CAD and Pound CAD are likely to keep pushing to the upside. In terms of the crosses, we talked about Pound Aussie briefly. Someone said they are taking advantage of some upside there. It looks very, very bullish at the moment. Again, because we have taken out those major highs, I do think a pullback is likely. How deep that pullback will be is, of course, going to be a different. It's going to be difficult to tell until we see the pullback happen. But since we have taken out the highs there again, looking for a pullback, but most likely probably will see another higher low form and price will attack to the upside. No signs of structure changing. We've taken out some major highs, but that hasn't really changed anything with price. So yeah, pound Aussie still looking very bullish. Probably going to see another higher low form since we've just taken out the highs there, but it looks like a trend that is moving very clean to the upside. And maybe we do go the distance to 2.05 there as well. In terms of pound entity, it's partner in crime. I think we're seeing similar characteristics. We've taken out a major high, but again, that hasn't really done much to price. We've pushed up, pulled back, and now we're pushing up very strongly again. So major highs taken out, hasn't changed price in any way. Probably going to see another pullback at some stage now and a continuation. And this could end up being a really nice buy. In terms of where to buy, I think the retest of the high is looking your best bet there. I probably would want price to push on a little bit further. Because again, if I whip out the old fib from the high to the low, not quite with the 50 there, but if you do push a little bit further, 50 becomes into a conversation. But anyway, in terms of direction, still looking very bullish, higher highs and higher lows. Probably going to see more upside as well with this one. With Euro Entity and Euro Aussie, it does look like these guys are starting to follow suit. Euro Entity strongly to the upside, breaking the high. Is this one testing the high of the range just yet? Looks like we're getting there. Wouldn't say we're quite arrived, but looks like we're getting there. So as you can see, major resistance on the daily chart. And this is a nice area where sells will make a lot of sense because we've had some really aggressive reactions previously. Probably can see another reaction. Of course, whether it's a move back down to the lows here or just a reaction for a couple of days, difficult to say, but it's an area where you do think a bounce is likely as well. So if you are looking for shorts, I would keep an eye on that area for Euro NZD. And I think Euro Aussie is doing the same, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, they're all very correlated, so they do tend to follow each other. So yeah, it looks like this level here is breaking with Euro Aussie. And if that's the case, we're probably going to push back to the high here, which will be 1.7. So yeah, with Euro Aussie, if we do sustain the high there, probably are going to see a push back to the high there as well. So maybe there is a lot more upside for these crosses. I think Euro Aussie looks the best one because this one's still got some nice targets to look at. Pound Aussie, Pound NZD have taken up fresh highs. So although they do look very bullish, I would be a little bit careful about the buys there because we're at fresh highs. We'll probably do a pullback at some point. In terms of Euro NZD, we're approaching some major resistance there as well. With Euro Aussie, we've just taken out some major highs here on the daily. The next big level would be here for me. So there's a long, long way to go. And some break and retest following that look good. So if I drop back to the 4-hour chart, if you could push to the upside, break the high, pull back, retest, that's a nice opportunity for a long there. So yeah, overall, it does look like the crosses are getting ready to attack higher. I mean, maybe let me rephrase that. They are attacking higher, but they could keep going really. I think Euro Aussie probably looks the best out of them. If I have a quick look at Euro Pound, I'm pretty sure we'll probably see it falling because Pound looks really strong at the moment. Yeah, we have had a bit of a move to the downside. So have we held on to that level? Not really. We've kind of come back to retest its resistance, if anything, really. I mean, it's not the biggest breakout in the world. I probably want to see price clear that with a little bit more aggression if I'm going to look to short it. But yeah, we'll probably expect to see a push back to 0.823 in this case. And using that as resistance makes a lot of sense as well. If we were trading above it and holding a support, I think that'll be a great buy. And maybe we do eventually see that. But yeah, that close to the downside has invalidated that opportunity for now. And we probably will get a push to the low at this point here. But yeah, it looks like the trend for Euro Pound is still at large, still trending down. We'll see how the monthly candle does close. In terms of Aussie New Zealand dollar, Holy One, weren't you looking to trade this one or trading it? This one still looks very corrective. I do like the buys back down at 1.082, kind of looking to follow that trend line there. I know it's a pretty long way away, but I think it's a nice place to anticipate some buys if we should get there. I think there's a very good chance we do form a high low and keep pushing. In terms of the sells, I did mention this area up here. Nice place of resistance, respected a couple times very well. Once over there, second time very well. And looking again for a third time for a nice push down and probably a big continuation. So overall, it does look pretty good for Aussie New Zealand dollar. In terms of the buys and the sells, just need price to get there first. Where we're trading right now, I'm not really feeling it so much. But push back to 1.108 or 10844. Could be looking at some sells and buys respectively. So that's kind of where I'm at with the crosses. Not my favorite pairs in the world, but sometimes there's some good opportunities there. But I think Euro Aussie's one to keep an eye out for. A lot of upside in the cards. Strong break of the high. If we can keep that up, could see that last maybe a couple of weeks. Probably go through some of the other indices next. Take a look at crypto and probably go through other CHF pairs as well. Where was I? Okay, looking to short gold again, but decided to stay out. Hoping NAS get target 1 p.m. Okay, yeah, I remember you said you were in NAS. I haven't looked at NAS, have I? I'll go take a look at some of the other indices. I looked at US 30, but I don't think I look at NAS or S&P. We'll go take a look at those two, go through some Bitcoin and go through some CHF markets as well. Went to that oil position, but it doesn't let me take it. Yeah, it probably would be. I mean, yeah. I mean, most markets are going to be a little bit choppy from the 24th of December onwards. There's lack of normally volatile, less volume, less participants. Yeah, happens every year. Okay, Aussie dollar almost ready. Okay, mate, get ready in this afternoon. Okay, what are you looking to do with Aussie New Zealand dollar? You looking to buy or sell? Okay, types of trading stop loss at 105. And what trades closed yesterday? Okay, only euro yen. Yeah, I mean, looking to wind it down anyway for the holidays. Okay, so okay, 22080. Okay, let's go through some indices and then we'll take a look at some crypto as well. So I had a look at US 30 earlier. As I mentioned, for US 30, it looks like a nice buy. Come back down to a nice area of confluence, retesting the high there as well. So essentially looking for a bounce. And I'm pretty sure we've come into 0.786 as well. So if we can hold this for US 30, very bullish. Do think there's a lot of upside to be had. Equally, if we were to break to the downside and take out that low, that's where things get very, very awkward. And I do think we'll see a bit of a counter trend form to the downside. And there could be some nice sales to talk about. But for now, still respecting structure, still looking at higher low. So looking at push to the upside. Let's go take a look at the old NAS 100. Wow, wow, wow. Still looking very bullish. I did talk about two buying opportunity yesterday. That said, depending on what you're looking for, there's two nice buying opportunities. If you're looking for the biggest swing, then you're kind of looking for the retest of this high, 21,200. If I whip out the old fib from the low to the high, you can see it lines up very well with the 0.5 over there. I think that's a nice place for a buy. And I did mention this area, but I don't think we actually tested it, or did we? Looks like you just missed it there. Yeah, just missed it. Wow, that is unfortunate. But I said yesterday we might see a bigger pullback into this area and then get the continuation. And this is a bit more of an intraday slash intra-week trade. You're looking to ride that for maybe 1 or 2 days, get it back to the high. Look to lock in some gains there. Maybe you leave some positions to run. But they both are the same thing. You're looking for pullbacks. One, the pullback isn't quite as deep. You're looking to try and ride the current momentum. The pullback is much deeper, but you're looking to try and swing this for a lot longer, potentially 1 or 2 weeks. And you're looking to try and really ride that high time frame trend. So both make sense. Both are good opportunities. And in this case, looks like we kind of got this opportunity, although didn't really test the area, to be honest. So that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, it looks like US 30 is probably going to use 100 to push back to the high there, 2200. Holy One, you said you got involved at 22080. 22080. So that's around just underneath current price. Actually, no, that's here, just above current price. So I'm guessing again your target's back at the high there. 22 130, something like that. Or are you looking to try and push it a little bit further? Okay. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing good as well. I want to get in that as well, but on the calendar, I have no time to trade it, so I'm waiting for the new EFS. It makes a lot of sense there as well, because I know more you're looking to really hold onto your trades and really milk them. And yeah, we're approaching the holidays, so might not see as much an opportunity to do that. So it's probably best to wait for the new year anyway. Probably going to see the markets move a lot in the new year too. They tend to have some really nice moves in January. Okay, so looking to sell Aussie New Zealand dollar. And it looks like Moore and Chris are getting acquainted again. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the with NAS. Let me take a look at S&P 500. Ooh, this one's still all over the shop. I mean, still very bullish. Do not get me wrong. Still looking at a lot more upside here. Um, Waiting for price to actually break the high and looking for us to continue moving to the upside. I don't like the retest of this high just yet. Breakout hasn't been big enough for me to consider the retest there. But yeah, the market's still bullish. What can I say? You know, we're still seeing higher high after higher low. It's pretty much no brainer in terms of direction. Of course, you do have to use your noggin a little bit if you're looking for some entries and looking to manage trades and find the best place to do all of that. Of course, that does take some that takes accuracy, skill, but in terms of direction, especially with trend following, you know exactly what you need to do with this market here. So yeah, looking for more upside. I'd wait for the highs to start breaking first before getting involved. Might see us kind of push back and forth. Maybe the highs do break today, potentially actually, with the news coming up. But overall, S&P still looking very bullish. If I go have a quick look at Bitcoin. So yeah, Bitcoin's a bit awkward. Still looking bullish. Had a nice move to the upside past couple of days. So you know, great stuff from Bitcoin there, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Because if I do clone this and I do drag this to the high, it does look like price is starting to stall a little bit. And I did say yesterday, don't really want to see price starting to reject the high there. That's not really a great sign because it means price is still kind of respecting that channel and still moving correctively. I mean, we haven't really made our way back to the low just yet, but the fact is we want price to kind of break out of this to really show us that momentum is back with Bitcoin again, and we're back in this kind of bullish mode because the longer we stay corrective, as I mentioned yesterday, the longer we stay corrective, the higher the chance we're going to see a big drop to the downside. This is not really sustainable price action. It normally does represent price, which is getting ready to sell off. Of course, nothing is guaranteed, but in terms of price action, in terms of probability, that's what you're likely going to see. So Bitcoin, nice move to the upside. Yes, had a bit of a reaction. Still overall bullish, yes, but definitely becoming more corrective. So I need to keep a close eye on that. But as I said yesterday and on my weekly analysis, I think this is a nice place for a buy. Back to retesting some structure here. Maybe the 200 catches up a little bit. You got the respect of the high there, which will be taken as support. And of course, you've got the trend line, which is where price is putting all these high lows at as well. So I think this is a nice place for a buy. And again, looking to take it back to where we came from, get back into the high of the channel. But if we don't kind of pick up the pace, I would start to worry a little bit for Bitcoin there. Not gonna lie. In terms of Ethereum as well, whilst we're on the topic, I think Ethereum's stuck at the high a little bit. Yeah, I still like Ethereum. Still looks very bullish to me. We broke out that channel a while ago with some nice momentum. Maybe a bit on the corrective side, but I like it because we still got the high, the all-time high over there, which price still hasn't hit yet. It's looking like we are forming these high lows and prices getting ready to break highs and continue. So I think Ethereum is still opportunities there. Maybe not at the current moment in time because we're kind of stuck at resistance a little bit. But hey, if we start picking up momentum, break the high, you know, we could just suddenly continue off the back of that. And there could be some nice longs there. But yeah, overall for crypto, still bullish. Yes, definitely losing some momentum. So a bit of a red flag there, but it could pick up very quickly as well. So let's not forget about that. Okay, so I'll take a look at US 30 quickly, and then we can go through some of the CHF pairs. Hey, what's up, Tom? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
ET's back at the 2 weeks ago. Terrible trade that was. Well, the funny thing about a terrible trade, as long as you manage your risk, it doesn't define you. Um, just get back into the market when the time is right. But yeah, I think Ethereum's got a lot of upside potential there, so I do like what I'm seeing there. Let me take a look at US30, then we'll go through some of the CHF markets. And of course, anyone has any recommendations, just let me know in the chat. So yeah, US30, I actually like US30. It's probably my favorite US indice right now out of S&P and NAS. Of course, NAS is kind of doing its thing, but US30's pulled back to a really nice area, 0.786 on that fib, retesting that prior high, which hopefully is going to act as support. And I like how price is moving. It's very corrective. It's kind of like one nice stream to the downside. But overall, it is losing some of that strength there. So I do think a move to the upside is pretty likely. Whether we get all the way back to that high up there, it's a different question. Probably looking to lock in gains along the way, but I do think this is a solid buy for US30. So yeah, I'll be very bullish on US30. I think a nice little double bottom there. Maybe if you push to the downside this afternoon, get some entries off the back of that, could be a nice little trade to take to the upside. But yeah, US30 definitely bullish for myself. Okay, Tom, looking for pound NZE. I assume you're looking for some longs, 2.1983, 0.618 fib looks spot on. Okay, let's take a look. GBP and ZD. So I'm drawing it from the low to the current high, but we're all kind of well aware that that might not be the high that does pull us back. We still very much could still push on a little bit further. But yeah, I'm looking at upside there too for pound NZD. We're just taking out the highs again this morning, so the market is definitely very bullish, showing very strong signs that this trend is not finished and it's still going to continue. So now that we have taken out the highs, next phase we're looking for is a pullback for price to keep pushing. You just mentioned 2.198, 2.1983, 2.1983. Okay, so pretty much just bang on the money on the 0.6. So yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks good as well. A nice deeper pullback too. Looking to try and catch the next high low there as well. 1, 2, 3 in that area. Makes a load of sense there as well. So I agree. I think it looks good. I like the retest of the high, but it just hasn't hasn't broke the high far enough. So if we kind of keep pushing to the upside and maybe that 50 can tag along with the high there, I think that could turn into a really nice buy. But we need to really keep pushing if that's the case. For now, I think the deeper pullbacks closer to the area you mentioned there, Tom, look good. The benefits of pound NZD is that pretty much all the higher time frames are looking bullish. We still got the daily chart on your side, the weekly chart, even the monthly chart. We're seeing momentum to the upside there. So it's a situation where we could keep pushing. We took out some major highs on the left here, but haven't really seen a sign of that kind of looking for price looking to turn around. Still looking very bullish. So yeah, I do agree. Okay, Memo, we'll take a look at gold for you, no problem. Anton, JPY's pairs perform. Don't know what you mean by that. You mean in terms of them moving? ETH, okay, we'll quickly go through that and I'll go through some CHF pairs. But in terms of gold, as I've said, looks a little bit dry to be fair, but overall, I do think the buys look good there. I did mention there might be some nice buys this afternoon if you can get a nice push to the upside. Another lower high than a continuation of that trend. The market's been very consistent with the lower lows and lower highs. So there is a good chance we do continue lower back to the low and maybe further as well. But for now, I do think this is a solid place for a buy, which is 26.20. Nice place for a high low to form and a push back up again. Maybe back to the highs there. I'm not quite sold on that just yet. Overall, looking for us to come back to the highs here. But I don't quite have that set up just yet. I'll let you guys know when I do. But For now, gold is almost consolidating. I think we're likely to see another drop. But if you're looking for buys, this is the place to be. 26.20, a lot of evidence of price holding this area previously. I do think we can see that happen again. So I would keep an eye on that. Okay, so I'll quickly go through ETH. Darkishon, GJ Sculpt. Okay, we'll have a look. 195.31. 40 pip correction. Okay, we'll go through that as well. So yeah, in terms of Ethereum, as I mentioned, I think the buys look good. I'm still looking for Ethereum to get back to the all-time highs. Just copy what Bitcoin did. Really, we broke up that channel very well. It looks like we are stalling at the highs a little bit of a double top there forming, but I do think price will break through. Again, with crypto momentum, such a big thing, we're kind of just waiting for that momentum to get back into the market. And what better way for momentum to get back into the market with a strong break of the high here? You can see price kind of just give us some big candlesticks breaking the high. That's a really nice sign that says, okay, Ethereum means business. We've broken through clear resistance. It will now then become support. The higher lows continue here. That bear bull flag correction is still in full flow. And now we're seeing the continuation of that. And then you can probably expect to push back the swing high there. If we do clear this high here, that's the next area you expect price to get to. So Ethereum, I think looks like a really nice buy opportunity. Of course, above the level, not now. We might still sell off as well. Let's not rule that out as a possibility. But if price does break above 4K, retest on the highs look like a really nice opportunity there, Antonio. Darkshon GJ Sculpt. Let's have a look. See. Sell entry from 195.31 for a 40 pip correction. Let me get this out of the way. 195.31. Oh, on the 5 minute. Okay, let me get right down. 195.31. Okay, that's around here somewhere. 40 pip correction. How far is 40 pips? Okay, so you're looking for pushback to support, really. 40 pips is around here somewhere. So yeah, with pound yen, I think it's a nice place for a short. It's definitely a nice place for a short regarding the 5 minute chart, because if you look at the 5 minute, what we've done, we formed equal highs there. Nice push down at the lower high. Nice push down at the lower high. Nice push down at the lower high there as well. And now we're coming back into the same area where, again, you can probably expect another lower high to form. If it doesn't form and we end up breaking the high, then of course the trade's invalidated. We're probably going to push back to the high at that point, and you want to be out the trade. So stops above the high here is pretty respectable, pretty reasonable. I assume your stop loss is probably above the high there as well. And yeah, 40 pip move, you're looking at a decent risk reward as well, and that's where you would expect price to make a push back down. I do think with pound yen, the momentum we're seeing in the higher time frames, that we could probably see a move higher up. But maybe if we do respect that 5 minute structure, we do push down first before continuing. So as long as it ticks your box as well, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think the risk reward looks pretty good as well. Okay, stop loss 16 pips. Well, yeah, if you're targeting a 40 pip target and a 16 pip stop loss, you're looking at over a 2-to-1 there. So risk reward is pretty decent as well. And I like how the market shaped up to respect to the highs very well. So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense from a 5 minute chart though. But you're not looking for anything crazy as well. So I like it. 3 minute accurate. I haven't looked at the 3 minute chart before. So yeah, not too sure about that. But hey, if the 3 minute chart is working for you, then that is of course the most important thing. But yeah, anyway, I'll quickly go through the CHF pairs. Of course, I am trading pound CHF at the moment. That is the one I'm focused on. I also do like shorts on New Zealand CHF, but that hasn't really set up really. That's my pound CHF trade at the moment in a bit of a drawdown. But the key um, expectation is that I'm looking for price to hold that high and turn around from there. Stop loss above the high, so we'll see how that goes. It's going to be interesting because we've got Bank of England tomorrow, so that might be something I need to keep a close eye on. But there's a lot of news, so hopefully some fireworks, but hopefully in my direction. We'll see how that one goes. Stop loss above the high, targets more or less the low of the range, but the idea is that I can hopefully leave some positions to run. Again, this is the best case scenario if that does happen, but I'm in a place where that could happen, which is the idea. When you are looking to catch the bigger moves, you want to put yourself in places where big moves can happen. Not going to happen all the time, of course not. But if you put yourself in those places and you take advantage of them when they do happen, yeah, that's the key. That's the key focus there. In terms of New Zealand CHF, which is another CHF pair which I do like, just haven't retraced as much. It was actually very bearish yesterday, which I was not expecting. I thought we could kind of slowly push up a little bit more, but hey, New Zealand CHF wants to be bearish, and it was bearish. I think, again, probably more due to New Zealand being very weak rather than CHF being just exceptionally strong. But yeah, this was the trade I had planned this week. This was actually the bonus pair of my weekly analysis. So I was looking for a little bit more upside, hopefully retest this area, form the next lower high, and try and continue shorting. I say this because we've broken through very key resistance on the daily chart not long ago. As we can see, very key support there. Price is now broken comfortably below. So I was looking for us to come back and retest it, form the lower high, and hopefully get the push back to the low there as well. So a situation similar to pound CHF in terms of we've had a big move to the downside. This is the correction. And now it looks like we're seeing the continuation back to the low. So that's really what I'm after. In terms of Aussie CHF, I'm kind of looking at something similar as well. Big drop to the downside. This is the correction of that move and looking for price to come back and retest it at that low. But we do have some key support we need to break first. And once that does break, I think the shorts underneath look really good. Retest some structure, get some sells underneath. Looks like a nice opportunity, but not quite there yet. So I need to stay patient. For all I know, we could still very much bounce at that low. Okay, no problem. Okay, take care. More. Have a good one, my man. We'll see you tomorrow. No, I'm very much in pound CHF, early one. Very much in pound CHF. I am up against you at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of without with Aussie CHF. In terms of CAD CHF, I haven't really kept much of an eye on this one, to be honest. Yeah, I was looking at it when we had that big breakout a few weeks ago, but ever since we came back inside, not really fitting my plan there. So it looks like we're probably going to see a push back to the low there at 0.605. If we do break out, maybe that's something I might consider, but it's a bit too low down for me. So not really so interested in that, to be honest. I even see a bigger push to the upside. And then you've got your lovely Euro Swiss, which had a bit of reaction yesterday. I still think we're in an area where, again, we could form a lower high. Maybe we come back up for the double top. That could be something to look at. And maybe we push the downside from then. But hey, who knows? We might see a push back down again. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the CHF pairs. And of course, you've got CHF JPY and dollar CHF as well, which we've touched upon. A couple of them look good for sales. Of course, pound CHF, the one I'm in, and then New Zealand CHF. I'm still going to keep an eye out for that one, but I don't think I'll get the entry of how bearish things are looking over there. But maybe if we can see some pullbacks, I might get the trade there as well. But I need to be break even at least with pound CHF. If that's the case, I'm not going to double up on virtually the same trade. Okay, take care. Pound USD. Okay, we'll take a look at their memo. Did you recommend pound USD a while ago? I just didn't do it, did I? Or was it gold you said? Anyway, pound USD. Let's have a look. So yeah, pound USD, I'm still very bullish on it. There's no kind of real setup for me. I mean, in terms of maybe the sells, you're probably looking at something here. Price coming back to respect some levels there. So might be a decent little short you've got going on there. Not really my trade. I'm still very much looking for another high low in the daily chart. If I zoom out, we've got a lovely high low over here. Second, third, I'm looking at a fourth. And again, potentially a big run to the upside there as well. So that's really what I'm looking at as a swing opportunity there for pound. So I'm looking to time that right. And at the moment, the best opportunity I can see would be a retest of the low here. Looks like, if anything, we might be forming a bit of a head and shoulder pattern here and might see a bit of a move down. I think as long as the dollar stays above that resistance at 106.7, 106.6, probably we'll see the dollar make a move to the upside like this. And of course, that would be a bearish predicament for pound. So there might be some nice shorts there, actually better than euro. But that's a bit more on the shorter term view. Long term view, I'm looking for price to turn around. But yeah, it looks pretty bearish to me. So yeah, hopefully that made sense there on pound USD. Okay, take care, Chris. Have a good one, my man. But yeah, that's kind of where my focus will be, managing pound CHF, of course, managing CAD yen, although there's not a lot to do with this guy, apart from just look to see what the yen pairs do. I'm going to keep a very close eye on the yen basket, because I think that's going to play a big role. If we form a lower high and break the low, then that might mean we're not going to see a bit more yen weakness, but yen strength for the yen pairs. Then, of course, I'll keep an eye on pound CHF as well. But guys, really do appreciate you tuning into the stream. Thanks for tagging along. Like I said, I will be live again every day this week, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. as usual. So if you're free, pop in, say hi. We do not bite over here. But be careful, guys. Big news coming out. I mean, by the time we speak next, we've had the Fed interest rate and the Bank of Japan all do their thing, all do their magic. And of course, we'll have the Bank of England tomorrow, which I'll cover on the stream because I'll be right at the end of the stream. So I'll probably leave the stream going a little bit to chat and see what happens with that. That rhymed. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day. Like I said, be careful with the news. If you haven't checked out the Elevating Traders Discord channel, make sure you go and do that. Link to that in the description below. Also, top of the chat. You can't miss it. You can chat with other traders, chat with myself, look at different ideas, learn a bit more about the Elevating Traders firm. And of course, you can find a discount code there as well. And if you have enjoyed the stream, guys, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to get more content. But guys, really appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one.